Hi, everybody. My name's Jason.
I'm Caden.
Jaden. I'm Eli.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah YouTube channel. And we thank you guys very, very much for hanging out with us. We're hanging around this little wooden table out in the middle of a jungle. And we are very thankful that you guys will join us and read with us. Now, it's unfortunate, fellas. This is one of the least watched segments of any of our stuff. Like, nobody likes the King series. Like, everybody likes everything else. But, like, when we're just straight reading scriptures, like, we don't have a whole bunch of people out there like, man, this is, like, amazing scriptures. And these are definitely amazing scriptures because this is our history. These are our forefathers and foremothers and all of the events and all of the stuff that has happened that make it very, very clear to us that we need to be obeying the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator. Now, guys, we are the people who believe what? Who are we? What are we?
We are the people that believe that the law, statutes, and commandments, the Torah, the first five books of the Bible, are still in effect today, that they were not done away with, that Yahushua, Jesus, still know Jesus in Hebrew, Yahushua, when he died on that stake and he said it is finished, he meant the curse of death is finished. He never meant the Torah is finished. He did not mean that we should not keep the commands. He did not mean we can live as pagans, live as heathens, live as little Satanists, and go make it to heaven and say, hey, we're your little Satanists, let us into heaven. That is not the case. We are people that are striving to keep the Torah, to keep the laws and commandments the best we can, to prove our faith, as it says in James.
Yeah, and to show our faith by our works. And so we believe that the first five books of scriptures are the guidelines, guideposts, the rule set, the concrete blocks of foundation for our lives. And it is within these first five books of scriptures that we learn all sorts of things that we need to do to conduct ourselves, to live properly, how our Creator wants us to live, how He wants us to operate. And then we have a Messiah that comes in the Besorah, and the good news. And our Messiah did not come, like Cade said, did not come to get rid of the scriptures. He did not come to get rid of the Torah. He did not come to change what his dad had spent a tremendous amount of time making sure that all of us had and was preserved. He didn't do any of that. And so he says, if you love me, keep my commands. And when you guys say that there's only two commands, and even if there was only two commands, and if the greatest was to love your Elohim, your God, with all your heart, mind, and soul, but yet you hate their commands or you don't even know their commands, then by default, you're a liar because you don't even know what you hate. And if you don't know what you hate, then that's a messed up situation. So here we are, guys. This is Yah Scriptures. Now, Yah Scriptures today is Sukkot. Today is the first day of Sukkot. It is a high Shabbat for anybody on the Zadiki calendar. For anybody who's not on the Zadiki calendar and anybody who's on a calendar of our Creator and are keeping the appointed times, much love to all of you guys. Big high fives to you. I'm not going to mess with you if you guys are on another calendar. As long as you are on a calendar that is a calendar of our Creator and that you guys are obeying and abiding by these laws, statutes, and commandments, then it's a high five. I don't see any reason that we need to break each other's necks over discrepancies in a calendar that we are all trying to keep. Perhaps it's not on the exact same schedule, and I get where people say the appointed times, everybody, it's an appointed times for a reason, but we're also going to have a Messiah for a reason. The Messiah is going to come back, and he's going to give us the errors of our ways. He's going to give us a understanding of where we have not understood things that are correct, and this is why we absolutely need a leader, and he will be coming. Okay, guys, so this is Yah Scriptures. Not available on Sukkot, but it will be after tonight, after sunset tonight. The store will be back on. And these are the greatest English translations you guys can ever get. You can do the download. The downloads are free right now. You can go to yahscriptures.com. Just put those two words together right there. Put a .com at the end of that. And you can download the Apocrypha with this. It's all 100% free. For every scriptures that is able to be purchased that you guys get, and this is a large book, guys. This is 3,153 pages. It is 103 books. It has 3 beautiful bookmarks. It is a tremendously large study scripture.
Weighs what, 6 pounds?
It's over 6 pounds. Yeah, it's over 6 pounds. And so that's why shipping on these is a little bit more than a normal scripture. Normal scripture is like, what, a pound?
Yeah, it's an average. It's not your average book.
This is not your average book. It is bulletproof for lower caliber guns. Now, you're not going to shoot an AR through it. It will shoot an AR through it, but you're not going to do like low caliber handguns. 22 is absolutely bulletproof in terms of low caliber, and it's actually bulletproof as far as when it comes to souls. So this is the defense mechanism that you would like.
I do recommend reading it, not shooting it, though. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Best to read through it. Thanks, Kate. Appreciate that. But at some point, we do have a blank one. One of these days, I'm going to try to fire a bullet through this and see how far it does go through it. But it is available, guys. It's out there. Now, we're getting towards the end of this. This is for those who have not been in this, and I don't think we pick up any new travelers on this road when we're doing books like Kings, because it's just we have the people who like scriptures, and there's about 50 of you guys, 60 out of 38,000. So good. Big pats on the back to all of you guys who are interested in the scriptures, who read along with us, and we encourage all of you guys to read by yourselves all the time. Now, this is where we are at right here. This is the life of Yisrael. For those who do not know, since we're almost down to the very end of this chapter, you're talking about 12 tribes of Yisrael. You're talking about 12 kids of the son of Jacob. And these sons had 12, basically the 12 tribes. They had 12 families, and these 12 families developed into their own little lineage of people. And throughout the times, this is the days of Saul. The very first king that you see right there is Saul. And he had the prophet Samuel back with him during the days. And then you had David and Solomon. And we had Samuel halfway through that. And then we had Nathan, the prophet, throughout all of these. And then what you can see here, guys, is you see your forefathers and foremothers that are greatly erred in their sins. And so the left-hand side, you have the southern tribes of Israel, which is Judah and Benjamin. Then you have the northern tribes on the right, which is all of the rest of the tribes. You have the 10 tribes up the top. Now, during these times when the 12 tribes split to a 10 and 2, these guys hated each other, right? The northern tribe hated the southern tribe hated the northern tribe. They were fighting each other. They were always at war, sending other people over to get them. It's a mess, right? Instead of being a giant family under the hand of Yah, these guys were absolutely marauders in their rebellion of how they wanted to act and operate. Now, as we have been reading through all these scriptures, this is the life and time that we've had. And right now, if you guys don't remember, the northern tribe was taken into captivity quite a few chapters ago when we were reading this. And now here we are towards the end of this, and we're just about to get taken into captivity. We're about to Nebuchadnezzar's about to come and wreak some havoc. And so anyone want to give me a last recap of the last chapter? Anything, the last little bit, what we have to try to get us to where we're at?
Well, we had a new king, Yoshiahu, who was 8 years old when he reigned, and he was the best king of them all. He was great. He did after David. He broke down the altars. He brought down the temples. He killed the evil priests. He killed the mediums, the spiritists, and drove out all the evil, and tried to restore the land of Yahuwah, tried to restore the greatness to it that was the Holy Land, that was land one connected with Yah, that was one directly in contact with Yah and not cursed, not driven out, and not full of plagues and demons. And then he does all these things for his 40 years, for the time he was a king, and then his son went off and brought it all back. He just undid all the work his father did over the years. He brought the priests back. He brought the sacrifices, the high places, the other pagan temples. He brought it all back, and it's angering Yah.
Yeah, and so you guys want to take a stab at what's the English name of Yoshiahu?
Josiah.
Yeah, Josiah is the English name. That's what we're talking about. And if you guys can see right here, he reigned a little bit of time, not as much as some, but I mean for the end of the life of these tribes, this is quite a bit. So this is where we are right here. And so anyone have anything else to add to this, Eli?
I don't think so.
You don't have anything? You don't have any luggage you can throw around our way that we can take with us with gleams of wisdom? Anything of the sort?
If you don't give the commands, this could be you.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't give the commands, this could absolutely be you. Okay, so here we are, fellas. We are in 2 Kings 24. Here comes big bad Nebuchadnezzar. In his days, Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, came up, and Jehoiakim became his servant for 3 years, and he turned and rebelled against him. Okay, what does that? What can we make of this right here?
Well, this is the guy from Babel. We know a lot. If you know anything about Babel, you know this place is a wicked place, and this place conquers Judah for a very long time.
Yeah, and so it's Yohiakim, and so we're in 23, right? No, in 24. Yeah, there it is. So it's how the English name on this is Jehoiachin.
Wow.
Yeah, and so that is it. We're literally 2 kings before the end, before it's all over. Okay, so this dude came up, but what did it say in the first thing? He basically said he came up, he became a servant, right? And then he turned and rebelled against him, right?
3 years.
Yep. And Yahuwah sent against him raiding bands of Kasdites, and raiding bands of Aram, and raiding bands of Moab, and raiding bands of the children of Ammon. And he sent against them Yahudah to destroy it, according to the word of Yahuwah, which he had spoken by his servants, the Neviim. Now, what do you guys think of the raiding bands of these guys would be?
Well, he was rebellion against Babel, and so since his punishment was Judah's punishment to be in Babel, Yahuwah had to send people to get him back under punishment.
What do you think a raiding band would look like?
A lot of people, armies probably.
Do you think these guys are? Out there for the rule of law, or do you guys think these guys?
These guys are just crazy.
You guys are out here to steal, pillage,
dominate
destroy,
land.
Yeah,
cause chaos.
You don't become a raiding band unless you have the force to go deal with it. And they don't call it a raiding band because they walk in and everybody's like, "Hey guys, how you doing?"
Hey, give me your stuff.
It's called a raiding band for a reason. Okay. 3. Only at the command of Yahuwah this came upon Yahudah to remove from his presence because of the sins of Manasseh, according to all that he did. And also because of the innocent blood that he shed, for he filled Jerusalem with innocent blood, which Yahuwah would not forgive. And the rest of the acts of Jehoiakim, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of Yehudah? So Jehoiakim slept with his fathers, and Jehoiachin, his son, reigned in his place. And the sovereign of Mitzrayim did not come out of his land again, for the sovereign of Babel had taken all that belonged to the sovereign of Mitzrayim, from the wadi of Mitzrayim to the river Pereth.
So not only did Babel take over Judah, he also took over Egypt too.
Yeah,
He's just a conqueror.
Nebuchadnezzar, he's the man, right? When it comes down to,
I think he was.
He was the most powerful kingdom in the world.
yeah, but this is definitely for sure. Okay, Jehoiakim was 18 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months. And his mother's name was Gusta, the daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem. That's a strange name, Elnathan.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up?
Spanish.
El Jaden.
El Nathan.
El Eli. Okay, and he did evil in the eyes of Yahuwah, according to all that his father did. At that time, the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, came up against Jerusalem, and the city was besieged. And Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, came against the city, as his servants were besieging it. And Jehoiakim, sovereign of Yahudah, and his mother, and his servants, and his heads, and his eunuchs, went out to the sovereign of Babel, and the sovereign of Babel, in the 8th year of his reign, took him prisoner. This is always fascinating me. The people of eunuchs, right? The eunuchs are always there. Eunuchs are always like mentioned in this thing, right? For whatever reason, right here in this thing, it's all of his. And it's like his eunuchs aren't listed as his servants, right? They're listed as something else. It says, and his mother, and his servants, and his heads, and his eunuchs. So it's like these people have like, I don't know, like a whole group of eunuchs for some reason, and I don't know why they're not. I don't know. I don't know what it is with the eunuchs. I do know what it is with the eunuchs, but I don't know why they're all in these tribes here. Okay, anyone take a stab at this?
No,
I don't know. Okay, and he took from there all the treasures of the house of Yahuwah and the treasures of the sovereign's house, and he cut in pieces all the objects of gold which Shlomo, sovereign of Yisrael, had made in the Hayekel of Yahuwah, as Yahuwah had said. How do you think Homeboy cut objects of gold in half? You think he had used a grinder?
Did they have some kind of tool or something? Gold is.
How would you cut gold in half back
Hacksaws.
You think they had axe? I don't think they had axe.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
They had something.
Axes or something. I don't know. Axes would be hard to cut though.
Yeah, I don't think. I think it's.
Well,
I think
gold can break.
It's far less primitive than I think we think. I think these guys are far better at this. And gold can break, but I mean, it said he cut in pieces all the objects of gold. And I mean, who knows? Shlomo made all sorts of stuff out of gold. So I mean, we're talking like it's not going to be like pieces of like aluminum foil of gold.
Bolt cutters.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They had some tools. 14. And he exiled all Jerusalem and all the officers and all the mighty brave men, 10,000 exiles, and all the craftsmen and smiths, None remained except the poorest people of the land. And he exiled Jehoiakim to Babel, and the sovereign's mother, and the sovereign's wives, and his eunuchs, and the leading men of the land he exiled from Jerusalem to Babel. And all the mighty brave men, 7,000, and craftsmen and smiths, 1,000, all who were strong and fit for battle, these the sovereign of Babel brought to Babel into exile. Okay, so why did he bring all these guys? What's up with this? Anyone?
Well, these are like the leaders of the land. He like made sure that everyone saw that their leaders, the strongest people of the land, were like basically defeated, and so they had to follow suit.
So why would he take the mighty brave men? Because we know that from scriptures, like the mighty brave men, the guys of David were like the crazy killers.
It only takes one or two to start a revolution of these guys, or like sometimes just one, and they would go and slaughter like Samson. He went and killed like 600 people.
It's interesting though how he had this system set up to where he was able to assimilate all of these different lands, take the mighty men, take these people. Sorry, guys. The craftsmen and smiths. So, what is he doing with the craftsmen and smiths exactly?
Well, stop with
the smiths. Are we talking about Jonathan
weapons.
Smith? Are we talking Roger Smith?
I'm talking like a blacksmith.
Oh, blacksmith.
Like, people like make weapons.
Right. Okay. So, why did he take all these guys? What's with this particular verse right here?
Well, they took them so they can't build weapons. They basically took the army away. They basically people that are able to fight back.
Yeah, but what do you think he's going to be doing with these guys?
Oh, making them build weapons for them.
Yeah, these guys. He basically did what the United States did with all of the Nazis back in the day when they supposedly defeated Hitler, and he strolled off to Argentina by himself when he's probably not dead. But they took all the Nazis and all the people and they brought them to the United States. And they have things like Operation Paperclip, where it's a documented government thing, where they brought all the Nazis in there and got all this information, did all this stuff. And North America has been essentially the Nazi country since we did that, because we had all of the people that were just very into great evil with Mr. Adolf. Okay, continuing on. 17. And the sovereign of Babel appointed Mattaniah, Jehoiakim's uncle, to reign in his place, and changed his name to Zedekiah. Why do you think he changed his name, Jehoiakim, to Zedekiah?
Maybe Jehoiakim was hard for
Nebuchadnezzar likes to change names a lot. You'll see later on if you read Daniel.
Yeah.
He likes to change people's names.
What was your thoughts?
Maybe that's hard to pronounce in their language, so maybe they made it an easier to pronounce in the language of Babel.
We'll call you Bill. This is it. You're gonna be Zedekiah. Zedekiah sounds like a Hebrew name though, honestly.
Yeah.
Anyway, Zedekiah was 21 years old, or Mattaniah was 21 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Camutal, the daughter of Yirmiyahu of Livnah. And he did evil in the eyes of Yahuwah, according to all that Jehoiakim did. For this took place in Jerusalem, in Yehudah, because of the displeasure of Yahuwah, until he had cast them out from his presence, and Zedekiah rebelled against the sovereign of Babel. Well, there you go, fellas. That's the end of this one. It's almost the end of these people. What are we gonna do when we get out of Kings? Do we just keep on rolling?
Yeah. We have the prophets, but we could also go back to the other story. We can go to Daniel's time.
Think about the prophets. Yeah, the prophets, though, I think it's kind of somewhat out of order, though, right?
Yeah, because it should have been First Kings, Second Kings, now half Second Kings, Isaiah, and then
we should have had these prophets that are sitting here giving these guys all these things prior to them going in. So it's kind of out of order.
We could go to Daniel because that's the next part of the story.
Could go to Daniel. Yeah, could go in there. All right, yeah, we'll just keep on rolling. We'll see where it goes. But
we go to Nehemiah after the exile.
I want to go to Ezra. I want second Ezra again. I can't wait for us to read this, but it's going to take us a long time to ever make it through this stuff.
We'll get there.
All right. Well, everybody, we thank you guys very, very much for being part of the family. We hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Much love to all of you guys, to everybody out there celebrating Sukkot. Shabbat Sukkot. Much love.
All right. Shalom.